leaving behind the land route, which back then was a small strip of land to the south called the Boston Neck. 2 lanterns meant they would leave by the sea route, which actually did not mean the sea. It actually meant they crossed the Charles River into Cambridge. Then they'd march out to Lexington and Concord. That night, 2 lanterns were in the Old North Church steeple, meaning the British Army would be leaving by the water route, the shorter route. Once that was done, Paul Revere made his way down to the banks of the Charles River, where he got into a rowboat with a couple of his friends. They helped him to row across the Charles River, right under the nose of the HMS Somerset, a British man-of-war. Once on the other side in Charlestown, Paul Revere borrowed Deacon Larkin's fastest horse, Brown Beauty, and started the midnight ride. But Paul Revere was not alone in this endeavor. In fact, he wasn't even the first rider sent. The first rider sent was named William Dawes. He was sent out over the land route. But since Paul Revere took the shorter way, they actually got to Lexington at about the same time. There, they warned the leaders of the Sons of Liberty, John Hancock and Samuel Adams, and the Lexington Militia. Then they headed out to Concord. On their way to Concord, they met another rider. His name was Samuel Prescott. As the 3 men were riding out to Concord, they were stopped by a British patrol. Samuel Prescott escaped the British and made it to Concord. On the next day, the shot heard round the world was fired, and the American Revolution began. William Dawes escaped the British, though never made it to Concord. And Paul Revere was stopped. They took his horse and made him walk all the way back to Lexington. But that turned out to be only about a mile away, so he didn't have very far to walk. Still, why is it that we give Paul Revere all this credit, even though he wasn't alone and never did finish the midnight ride? Probably because of Henry Wadsworth Longfellow again. And that poem of his which goes, "Listen, my children, and you shall hear of the midnight ride of Paul Revere." Revere rhymes with here. Dawes and Prescott don't. Well, Mr. Longfellow was a poet, not a historian. Not to mention the fact that he did write the poem